Success without support begins with radical self-reliance. When no one believes in you, your belief must become discipline, not emotion. Stop waiting for encouragement and start building silent competence. Study people, study systems, study power. The world does not reward potential, it rewards leverage. If you lack connections, become so skilled that ignoring you becomes expensive. Your loneliness is not a weakness, it is uninterrupted focus. Use isolation as your training ground. Master yourself before attempting to master circumstances. When you have no connections, you must manufacture value that attracts them. Power respects usefulness. Instead of asking for opportunities, become the opportunity. Learn high-income skills. Understand negotiation. Build something tangible that proves your worth without explanation. Influence grows from demonstrated results, not loud promises. People align with strength and clarity. Speak less, execute more. Quiet wins create curiosity. Curiosity opens doors. Doors create networks. Networks create expansion. Build the first step alone. Momentum will bring the rest. Luck favors the prepared strategist. Those who complain about luck usually ignore preparation. Control what you can: your knowledge, your health, your discipline, your consistency. When opportunity appears, it rewards readiness, not hope. Think long-term. Make calculated moves instead of emotional reactions. Strategic patience defeats desperate action. Every small improvement compounds into authority. Every disciplined habit becomes silent power. You don't need luck if you reduce randomness through preparation. Precision creates its own fortune. When unsupported, emotional control becomes your shield. Desperation repels opportunity. Calm attracts it. Never reveal frustration. Maintain composure even in loss. Study how influential figures respond to pressure. They rarely react publicly. Silence is protection. Reaction is exposure. The more control you appear, the more unpredictable you become. And unpredictability creates psychological advantage. Let others underestimate your quiet. Underestimation is strategic camouflage. While they sleep on you, build. Without connections, your reputation becomes your network. Guard it fiercely. Be reliable. Deliver more than promised. Become known for consistency. People talk about dependability more than talent. Reputation compounds silently. Even strangers will recommend someone they trust indirectly. Character is long-term strategy. Manipulation without discipline collapses. Sustainable power requires credibility. Build a name that travels ahead of you. When your name enters a room before you do, connections follow naturally. Scarcity sharpens intelligence. If you lack resources, you must develop creativity. Learn to negotiate better deals. Learn to leverage other people's ambitions.
Partnerships are not friendships. They are exchanges of value. Identify what others want and position yourself as the bridge. Power flows toward problem solvers. Be that person. Think in systems, not emotions. If you cannot increase resources immediately, increase efficiency. Efficiency multiplies limited assets into influence. Detach from validation. When no one supports you, validation becomes a trap. If you seek approval, you will compromise strategy. Move silently. Announce results, not intentions. Protect your plans until execution is complete. The less people know, the fewer obstacles they create. Strategic secrecy prevents sabotage. Not everyone deserves access to your ambition. Isolation filters distractions. Let your progress shock them later. Build internal standards higher than external expectations. If nobody expects much from you, that is freedom. You are not trapped by reputation. You are not burdened by pressure. Use that invisibility wisely. Experiment, fail privately, improve relentlessly. Invisible growth is powerful because it faces no resistance. By the time the world notices you, you are already prepared for the spotlight. Surprise is advantage. Turn rejection into information. Every closed door teaches positioning. Analyze why it closed, improve your leverage, refine your communication, strengthen your results. Rejection is feedback disguised as insult. Emotional people feel rejected. Strategic people extract lessons. Do not argue with doors. Become someone doors cannot ignore. Adaptation is survival. Those who adapt faster dominate longer. Understand that isolation is temporary if used strategically. Most people fear walking alone, so they never begin. You, however, will use solitude as foundation. Build skills, discipline, composure, and reputation quietly. When momentum forms, alliances appear. Success built alone is stable because it rests on competence, not dependency. You do not need support to start, you need strength to continue. When you stand alone, your mind must become your strongest ally. Guard it from negativity, comparison, and self-doubt. The unsupported individual cannot afford mental weakness. Train your thoughts like a soldier trains for war. Replace emotional reactions with calculated responses. Every setback is data. Every obstacle is a test of discipline. Your environment may be chaotic, but your internal world must remain controlled. Mastery of the mind is the first invisible victory. Stop explaining your struggle to people who cannot change it. Silence preserves energy. Complaining wastes power. Instead, observe how successful individuals think and move. They rarely reveal their fears. They focus on solutions, not sympathy. When no one is watching, refine your craft. Practice daily. Skill becomes confidence. Confidence becomes presence. Presence commands respect without demanding it. Develop quiet authority that speaks before you do. Without support, you must build structure around yourself. Create routines that eliminate excuses. Wake up at the same time. Study consistently. Track your progress. Discipline replaces motivation. Motivation fades. Structure sustains. The world is not obligated to push you forward. Build your own system of accountability. Measure your growth weekly. Small improvements compound into transformation. Consistency is the weapon of the unsupported. Strategic thinking separates survivors from leaders. Do not chase everything at once. Focus on one path and dominate it. Depth creates leverage. Distraction creates weakness. Choose skills that are valuable in any economy: communication, negotiation, analysis, influence. These are timeless assets. When you master fundamentals, you become adaptable. Adaptability protects you when luck is absent. Think like a chess player, always planning 3 moves ahead. Control your image carefully. Even if you are struggling, never project desperation. People invest in strength, not chaos. Dress sharp, speak clearly, move with intention. Appear organized even when you are building from nothing. Perception influences opportunity. When you control perception, you shape reality. Image is not deception, it is positioning. Positioning determines who takes you seriously. Turn envy into fuel. When you see others succeed with advantages you lack, do not resent them. Study them. Analyze their strategies. Learn what works. Emotionally reacting to others' success weakens you. Strategically learning from it strengthens you. Replace jealousy with observation. Replace frustration with execution. Growth is not personal, it is practical. Develop emotional endurance. There will be nights when doubt feels heavier than ambition. Those moments define you. Weak people quit in silence. Strong people continue in silence. Train yourself to operate even when motivation disappears. Action creates momentum. Momentum reduces doubt. Keep moving even if progress feels slow. Stagnation is more dangerous than failure. Learn to negotiate with life. If you lack money, exchange skill. If you lack experience, offer effort. If you lack recognition, deliver results. Always bring value to the table. Even in small interactions, practice influence. Every conversation is training. Every opportunity is rehearsal for larger stages. Protect your time aggressively. Time is your only equal resource. Wealthy or poor, supported or alone, everyone has the same 24 hours. Use yours differently. Avoid gossip, endless scrolling, and unproductive environments. Focus on activities that build long-term leverage. Time invested wisely becomes freedom later. Understand that strength built in isolation becomes unshakable. When you achieve success without support, you develop independence. You are not controlled by approval. You are not weakened by absence. You become strategic, self-contained, and dangerous in the best sense because you rely on preparation, not permission. Every skill you develop alone becomes a silent weapon. The unsupported individual cannot rely on others' expertise. Learn to master multiple domains: communication, analysis, persuasion, and execution. Depth in skills replaces breadth in connections. When others have networks but lack competence, you have influence. Influence born from ability is durable. Each new skill compounds with the last, creating unstoppable momentum. Self-sufficiency is invisible until results appear. Then the world notices you, and doors that were once closed begin to open. Focus on leverage over effort. Hard work alone without strategy is inefficient. Identify high-impact actions that yield maximum results. Not all tasks are equal. Some move you forward exponentially. Others keep you busy but stagnant. Prioritize what multiplies your position. Even small actions, when aligned with strategy, become powerful. Work smarter, not just harder. Efficiency combined with consistency replaces the need for luck. When no one supports you, results speak louder than intentions or excuses. Adversity becomes your instructor. Every rejection or obstacle contains lessons others ignore. Study patterns of failure and extract principles. Avoid emotional responses to setbacks. Analyze instead. The unsupported person who studies adversity converts it into foresight, avoiding pitfalls that would trap the reliant. Resilience grows from disciplined observation. Use every challenge to calibrate your approach. Failures are not endpoints, they are guides to improvement. Strategy turns hardship into progress. Mastering influence is critical when connections are absent. Influence begins with understanding human behavior. Observe motives, desires, and fears. Position yourself as a solution. Subtly guide interactions without overt control. Even without support, influence allows you to create allies, negotiate outcomes, and access resources indirectly. Quiet persuasion often achieves more than loud demands. Power is rarely given, it is extracted. Influence is the tool that converts isolation into opportunity. Guard your energy and attention. Without a support network, distractions are lethal. Limit engagement with unproductive people or environments. Energy wasted on negativity cannot be converted into action. Protect focus like a fortress. Your internal discipline determines external results. The unsupported individual cannot afford frivolous consumption, mental, emotional, or social. Prioritize growth and output above all else. Strategic withdrawal from drains enhances silent power. Turn scarcity into innovation. When resources are limited, creativity becomes your advantage. Learn to do more with less. Find solutions others overlook. Scarcity sharpens strategic thinking, forcing efficiency, adaptability, and resourcefulness. Competitors with abundance often waste it. Your limitations become catalysts for originality. Innovation attracts attention. Execution of creative solutions builds credibility. The unsupported can leverage ingenuity to outmaneuver those with natural advantages. Build quiet confidence. Confidence without arrogance draws respect. Desperation repels it. Practice mastery silently until it becomes natural.
Learn to capitalize on micro opportunities. Large opportunities may be scarce, but small ones are everywhere. Identify openings that others ignore. Build credibility, results, and influence incrementally. Small wins compound into significant advantage. Even when starting alone, each small success signals capability, attracting resources and attention. Focus on leverage, not scale, initially. Precision creates momentum. Isolation trains resilience like no other condition. Those accustomed to reliance crumble under pressure. You adapt. Strength developed in solitude becomes impervious to external judgment. Emotional independence allows calculated risk-taking. You act when others hesitate. Every obstacle faced alone builds a psychological edge. Competence born from self-reliance is unstoppable because it is not dependent on external validation. When you have no support, you must become your own accountability system. Track your progress, set measurable goals, and reward yourself for achievements. Without external validation, internal discipline is the only path forward. Motivation will fluctuate, but structure sustains you. Create rituals that reinforce consistency. Small daily victories compound into long-term dominance. Independence is not a limitation, it is freedom to execute without interference. Your results, not approval, define your trajectory. Develop strategic observation. Watch how others succeed and fail. Learn from their methods, mistakes, and habits. Adapt their effective strategies to your circumstances. The unsupported individual cannot afford to repeat errors. Observation is a substitute for mentorship. Every interaction becomes data. Every pattern recognized becomes leverage. Knowledge gathered silently allows you to navigate systems more efficiently than those who rely on luck or connections. Focus on building transferable skills. Expertise in multiple domains increases your value universally. Communication, negotiation, problem-solving, and adaptability are assets that travel across industries and situations. When support is absent, versatility becomes your safeguard. It allows you to pivot, create, or attract opportunities without relying on external endorsement. Competence itself draws attention. The more you can do independently, the less the world can ignore you. Manage perception carefully. Even when starting from nothing, how you present yourself shapes opportunity. Confidence, clarity, and calmness signal competence. Avoid displaying uncertainty or desperation. Positioning yourself strategically, even in silence, creates a psychological advantage. People respond to perceived strength. Your appearance, tone, and actions are instruments of influence. Mastering perception multiplies the impact of your limited resources. Use failure as a blueprint. Every setback provides insight into your strategy, execution, and environment. Analyze failures rigorously. Adjust methods without emotional attachment. Those who rely on luck or support often repeat mistakes. The unsupported individual refines approaches constantly. Failure becomes a teacher, not a defeat. Strategic adaptation turns setbacks into stepping stones for long-term advantage. Leverage scarcity to your advantage. When resources are limited, your ingenuity shines. Find creative solutions others overlook. Make efficiency your weapon. Scarcity forces prioritization, focus, and resourcefulness. Competitors with abundant support often waste opportunities. Your limitations become a source of strategic innovation. Learn to extract maximum value from minimal assets. Skillful execution of limited resources generates disproportionate results. Cultivate mental toughness. Isolation can be emotionally taxing, but resilience is a competitive advantage. Train yourself to act despite fear, doubt, or fatigue. Emotional endurance allows strategic decisions when others succumb to panic or despair. The unsupported individual becomes mentally self-sufficient, which is more powerful than connections or luck. Strength of mind precedes success in all external arenas. Master incremental progress. Start small, focus on achievable wins, and build momentum over time. Large goals are reached through continuous, deliberate steps. Consistency creates inevitability. While others chase quick gains or external validation, you quietly compound your advantages. Over time, cumulative effort produces outcomes that appear effortless to outsiders. Small, disciplined actions outweigh grand but inconsistent efforts. Build influence silently. Even without connections, your actions can speak for you. Deliver results that attract attention. Position yourself as someone capable and reliable. Influence grows naturally from competence and consistency. When others recognize your abilities, they seek association voluntarily. You do not need a network to start. Results build your network. Embrace self-reliance as power. Lack of support is not a disadvantage, it is the crucible in which enduring strength is forged. Independent capability ensures that your trajectory is determined by skill, strategy, and discipline, not circumstance. Success achieved alone is sustainable because it rests on personal mastery. You do not wait for permission, opportunity, or luck. You create your own path and claim it. Isolation becomes your forge. Without support, every skill you acquire, every habit you develop is tempered by necessity. Dependence on others often dulls ambition. Self-reliance sharpens it. Use solitude to refine thought, strategy, and execution. Build routines that maximize efficiency. The unsupported individual learns faster, adapts quicker, and develops an inner authority that cannot be shaken. Every challenge faced alone becomes evidence of capability. Create leverage from action. When you cannot rely on others, your results must speak for themselves. Deliver measurable outcomes that demand recognition. Influence is earned through demonstrated ability, not introductions. Become the solution people cannot ignore. Consistent execution creates a reputation that precedes you. While networks take time to build, competence builds silently yet permanently. Leverage your actions as currency in a world that undervalues potential. Learn strategic patience. Instant gratification is a trap for the unsupported. Focus on long-term positioning instead of short-term validation. Deliberate planning and methodical execution compound silently into dominance. Observe timing, anticipate obstacles, and strike when conditions are favorable. Those who rely on luck act impulsively. You act with foresight. Patience is not inaction. It is preparation in motion. Guard your mind like a fortress. Without external support, mental clarity becomes your primary weapon. Avoid negative influences, distractions, and energy drains. Train your thoughts for discipline, focus, and creativity. Emotional control amplifies decision-making under pressure. The unsupported individual's strength lies in internal mastery. When your mind is unshakable, external circumstances cannot derail progress.
Transform rejection into strategy. Doors that close are lessons disguised as obstacles. Analyze the reasons behind each setback. Adjust your approach. Refine skills and anticipate future challenges. Rejection provides intelligence. Emotion provides weakness. Those without connections develop foresight and adaptability as natural defenses. Use every no as fuel to improve and position yourself for the inevitable yes. Develop versatile skills. When resources and support are scarce, adaptability is your safeguard. Learn abilities that hold value universally: communication, analysis, problem-solving, persuasion. Transferable skills allow independence, mobility, and leverage. The unsupported individual who masters versatility becomes indispensable. Depth of skill outweighs breadth of connections. Each capability increases your influence and creates opportunity from scarcity. Control perception deliberately. Even with nothing, how you are seen matters. Confidence, composure, and clarity communicate competence. Avoid displaying desperation or uncertainty. Strategic self-presentation amplifies impact beyond immediate resources. People align with perceived capability. Master perception to multiply your influence and attract opportunities without relying on connections or luck. Use every small opportunity. Major advantages may be rare, but minor chances exist everywhere. Each small success compounds into larger credibility. Execute consistently. Build results incrementally. Over time, momentum grows, and the unsupported individual becomes unstoppable. Precision and persistence turn minor openings into strategic advantage. Cultivate resilience and endurance. Solitude can be taxing, but it also develops toughness. Operate effectively despite doubt, fear, or fatigue. The unsupported individual thrives where others falter.
Mental, emotional, and physical endurance become silent weapons. Each challenge faced alone reinforces capability. Finally, recognize the power of self-made success. Without support, connections, or luck, every achievement is earned. This independence creates strength that cannot be borrowed or revoked. You become a strategist, executor, and creator of your own destiny. Success forged in isolation is durable, inevitable, and unstoppable because it relies entirely on your mastery, discipline, and vision.